So about a month ago, the New Yorker came out with this article that was like, it essentially painted like he lies in all his comedy.
Yeah.
He's full of shit. He's making all this stuff up. They cited like an anthrax story where he got anthrax in the mail, but it didn't turn out to be anthrax.
Yeah.
There was another one, like an FBI recruiter was like targeting Middle Eastern guys. And then there were a couple others that are escaping me at the second, but do you remember?
Yeah, so those were the three main. So it was the prom story. There was
The
three
prom
main,
one. Yep.
There was the three main stories. The prom story of when a white girl's family told them that they can't take pictures together because they don't want family back home to see it.
Yep.
You had the anthrax one, the envelope that nearly hit the daughter or did hit the daughter, and then you had the FBI. So yes, those are the three correct stories. So yeah, this article came out a month ago. Now Hasan's response came out about a week ago, I believe.
Yeah.
And I want to be very clear because there is two sides of this coin I do want to talk about. In terms of the PR move,
Yeah.
Hasan did a phenomenal job. In terms of defending himself, the video he put together was very well done. It was incredibly articulate. He's a very smart guy, right?
It's well, you can tell he's from this Daily Show trend of comedy, because like that thing where they're sitting at the desk and there's the graphics.
Yeah.
That started on the Daily Show.
Yeah.
And so it's very like, I felt like I was watching him do an episode of the Daily Show, and like you said, super articulate, very clearly a very intelligent guy.
Yes.
And I liked his point at the end. This is kind of like burying the lead or whatever, but just like, there are way more important things going on.
Exactly. So first of all, it's the New Yorker. People in New York don't have lives, so that's why.
Right.
But there's two sides of the coin I wanted to specifically talk about,
Okay.
a little bit more of a deeper convo. One, so there's obviously the comedian aspect of like lying.
Yeah.
Which, if you're not allowed to lie in your stories, I have no material. I lie so much, right? So there's that. But then there's also, on the flip side, where it's like his comedy is like a TED Talk almost.
Yes.
Where it's very, very political. And every piece of art has like a political meaning behind it, whether you can, for the most part, right? Like,
yeah. Like if you go, so I went to a very liberal university, and a saying there was everything is political.
Exactly.
Like everything you do. And even if you're saying, so like me saying I don't vote, they would say that's a political thing. Like everything is. And so I don't know how much I agree with that, but like you're saying, there's a political tinge that can be read into with anything.
So yeah, my thing was, listen, as the comedian aspect, it is stand up.
Yep.
He should be able to lie as much how much he wants to.
Yeah.
It's comedy. You have to not everything that happens at site is it's just not right. It takes a lot of writing. It takes right. So there's that. But then the other part of it for me was like the famous Frenchman Dave Chappelle loves talking about, Jussie Smollett, right?
Yeah.
There's like that. When you like create and fabricate stories like that, it hurts people who are actually going through that. And then also, right, it's just a load of barn. People just don't like hearing it, right? They just don't like hearing fabricated things of how this country is like people don't like being called a racist.
So I'll say, as a white dude, like the Jussie thing is annoying to me.
It was annoying to everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like obviously there's shit.
Yeah.
There's problems, right?
Yes.
But it's like as from the other side, it's like you don't want to give people ammunition to be like, oh, that's a load of bullshit. Look at the Jussie thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you can't. That's a losing move in terms of the discussion, because people who don't want to have the conversation can just dismiss it.
Yes.
Because they're like, oh, it's just a bunch of fucking bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all bullshit, and then they conflate it.
It gets to now, like I said, I'm not comparing what he did to because Jussie Smollett was just a big fat lie.
Right. And this is comedy.
Yeah.
It's artistic.
But like I said, and it would be hypocritical for me to say, like, I don't like it, like when people do this, 'cause I love George Carlin.
Yep.
Obviously, Dave Chappelle's newer stuff is very political.
Yep.
Whenever like, it would be hypocritical for me to pick and choose.
Yep.
Even if I didn't like the jokes per se, right? But I'm more so on the side, like, I don't even think he needed to apologize this much, because if I was in his situation,
I agree.
I have a 9/11 joke, right? like if someone's like that didn't happen, I'll be like, I like to apologize. I do the whole McGregor thing to absolutely nobody.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't like I would have won that angle. Like I said, he's 40, very professional, very smart.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more so on the comedy side. People who are first of all, people who are mad about this are fucking losers.
It's a weird thing to be upset about.
Right. And for the people who are like micro mad at it, right? I get where they're trying to come from, but you can't conflate comedy and like, you know, you there's a way to do it, but you can't like mix comedy with like a political thing and take it too seriously. Comedy's not meant to be taken seriously, but it's just tougher in his case
Right.
because it's very TED Talk like.
And so, and that's, I think, where the apology comes from. Because
Okay.
I think if you were to get him and get a couple beers in him or whatever,
Yeah.
and I don't know if he drinks, like, but whatever. But he seems like he might not. But anyways, like get a couple beers in him, and it's like, so like, are you really fucking sorry? And he'd be like, fuck no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just kind of, you know, doing some damage control, and this article made me out, like his words made me out to be a psycho, right?
Uh-huh.
And so you have to kind of come and show a reasonable face to sort of do some damage control there. It's like PR stuff, right?
Yes.
And so there's that angle.
Adding on to that, see, Hasan is also a guy who testifies in front of Congress, right? Like
Right.
he clearly cares about people.
Yes.
So it is even for me. Like I'm the same. I'm not Muslim, but I'm the same skin
Mhm.
color as him, right?
Yeah.
I am all for. All right, I have a joke about getting sniffed out at an airport by a dog, right? Getting
Yes.
racially profiled.
Yeah.
Here's the backstory on that joke. It was me and my dad. We were at the airport. The joke literally started off as my dad just getting pulled aside because he kept trying to go through the thing and they didn't have his belt was on and he didn't realize it.
Mhm.
And it was just not funny.
Right.
And
that's
it's fucking boring, right? And then
Right.
obviously the dog, like that joke became very funny. But like I had to lie a lot to do it. That's what comedy is. Like, dude, no comedian is. So, but for him, I get why. And we're micro picking. Like, this is not. I'm gonna go in the shower and jerk off after this. Like, I don't care. You know what I mean? I really don't. But we're just for the sake of the conversation. For him, I guess like there is like a level. It's like, all right, you want to, talk about really deep stuff. If you're not going to use other people's stories,
Yep.
right? And you're going to use your own to create victimization for like a whole group, I kind of get where that anger is coming from other people. Like I understand, but the comedian in me is like, dude, it's comedy, it's art, it's stand up. He's having fun.
And here's an example. So in college, I took a class on it was called African American literature, right? And so they just listen. And so this isn't going to be as bad as you think it is. And so we read a bunch of books, obviously written by Black authors, and a lot of them were from the perspective of like, racism is real in America, and they're fiction.
Yes.
Right. And if you're mad about someone creating a fictional story with what his word is emotional truth, right? And then, the New Yorker was like, that's a bullshit thing. But it's like, that's actually a true, like in terms of storytelling, like, like, I don't know, you just anything you read or watch, like that's not exactly even those movies that are based on a true story, right?
Yeah.
That's not exactly how
100%.
everything happened, but the beats and the emotional moments of the story, like that's what matters. And that's actually like, that's the truth they're trying to convey. Like it's art. It's not like you're not reading a history fucking textbook.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And I'm on Hasan's side 100%.
100%. Yeah.
100%. I'm just saying, like, with like Jussie Smollett, right? Like people should completely be mad about that, right?
Yeah.
Because that's like a whole stage thing. I'm, like I said, 100% leaning towards Hasan's side, but I get where like people like, trailer trash people live in, right? Where they might be mad. It's like, like where people are like, why is this getting blamed on me? It's not my fault.
Yeah.
But it is, like you said, it is art. It's the emotional truth behind it, right? And at the end of the day, one of the key factors of making something funny is like comedy being relatable. Everybody knows like the stereotypes with Arabs. Everyone knows the stereotypes with this group. Everyone knows it, right? So it's easy to convey in that sense.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like I said, I 100% agree on you. It's a weird thing that this was even an article in the first place.
Yeah, well, it's the wider thing here is, the traditional media thing of like the New Yorker is like it's a magazine that does, I mean, they used to do like when Hemingway was writing and shit like a long time ago, like they would post his stuff, like he would write a short story and it would come out. They used to do like very artistic, that's kind of their angle. It's like an artistic magazine. And so I guess, they used to do really cool stuff, but all that traditional kind of media is dying. I don't know why I just highlighted that, but
hey, what's up, guys? If you made it this far, thank you. If you enjoyed what you saw, make sure you check out the full podcast episode. It's available on both YouTube and Spotify. Lastly, since you're already here, check out all the links in the bio and subscribe to us. It does help us out a bunch. Once again, thank you guys, and we're looking forward to seeing you at next week's episode.